What's up, everyone? Episode 15 of Meet the Press. Thank you for joining us. As always, my friend Jared McDonald, flying by the seat of his pants, getting here from the illustrious halls of the Bowling Green Daily News.
Yeah, it was another one of those major golf tournament days where it gets over, right along that time where deadline's about to hit. So it's kind of scrambling at the last minute to get all that in, and then
So you were
getting over
really
here to be
pulling
on this.
for Zalatoris to miss that putt.
I was just the whole day, I was just pulling for no playoff
Right.
because I'm pretty sure it was like a 2-hole aggregate playoff, right? Not like a sudden death like some of your local tournaments, right? I
I
think
know
that's
there's
what they said, and I had like a
okay.
little
I know there's one
scare in
tournament.
my mind.
I don't know which one it is, but I know there's one tournament that I think it's like another 18 holes that they play on Monday, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was that.
Okay. I don't know what that tournament is. But this one was cool because of like the Francis We Met stuff. Do you know like Francis We Met? Did you like catch all that stuff?
I wasn't really watching that much. I was busy designing pages. I just kind of had it on the
Do you,
old Magnavox TV in the background.
do you know who Francis We Met is? Like greatest game ever played, the Shia LaBeouf movie. Have you never
No.
seen this?
What?
Dude, really?
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I
We've,
hate
we've
I
dis-
know it. I know.
we have discussed this for 2 straight weeks that I do not watch many sports
I know. I did it. I didn't.
movies.
I walked right into that.
I have
Okay,
watched
so
some Shia LaBeouf movies. I've watched Holes.
okay, well that's
Stanley Yelnats.
yeah, that's like a top
Stanley and Yelnats.
three.
Yeah.
That's like a top 3 Shia LaBeouf movie of all time. Man,
Transformers
that
is
could
really
be
good too.
that could be a whole segment about Shia LaBeouf one day.
Wait, what? Okay, Transformers I would put all in the same category.
Yeah,
And
I'm
Holes
not.
is in there. What else is? What's third? I don't know what else he's in.
Greatest game ever played. So
isn't that what the Rihanna song one, right? Disturbia? Is that what it's called? I didn't see it, but I remember the
that
song.
one was good. Is that the one with like the crazy neighbor?
I have never seen it. I don't know. I just remember the Rihanna song because it was a bob.
Yeah. No, greatest game ever played was about Francis We Met. He was an AM. Like he lived, like his family lived like right by the course at the country club or wherever it was called today. And
it is what it was called, the country club in Brooklyn.
That's just what it was called, right? The country club.
Yeah.
And like he has this like little boy as his caddy, and he beats like these 2 huge names in golf. And like it's funny because that's a movie that we watched, like that my brother watched growing up, like before a big tournament. Like he would watch the greatest game ever played like the night before a big tournament.
Gotcha. That's kind of like me though, because I watch Friday Night Lights a lot in the fall.
Right, that makes sense.
Football starting back up, I get in the mood, that type of thing.
It is a mood, man. A Friday night football feeling.
Yeah, I miss it. I love college football.
It is fun. Friday night football or Saturday brunch football. 11. You don't have many 11 a.m. games, do you? Do you have 11 a.m. games?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I have a lot of those, but I prefer. Okay, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but I have the discussion about the best kickoff times all the time with people. And in my opinion, it's the mid-afternoon, the 2:30, 3 o'clock, right in that range, because you get to sleep in a little bit.
Is this as a reporter or a fan?
Reporter.
Okay.
That's basically how I go to games now.
Okay. I know.
I get to sleep in a little bit because I'm usually at a high school game or traveling on Fridays.
Right.
Cover the game, still get out, not super late. On the road, I do kind of like the night games because you get that full atmosphere type of
feeling. Right.
And it's like your first time there or something. But no, I've done some really early kickoffs. I've had this conversation with Tyson Helton, Western Kentucky's football coach. He loves the early morning kickoffs, so he can get done and hopefully win the game. And if you're him, and he says he likes to get a win early in the day, go back home, fire up the grill, and watch the rest of the games, kind of feeling like King Kong, like, yeah, we won.
Right, like we're done.
That was a very memorable, presser for me.
Right. It's Okay, so keep going. So you get to sleep in a little bit, 2:30.
Yeah, and you don't. I usually get to the field, a couple hours beforehand,
Right, right.
and
I do too.
have whatever the media meal is for that. Because even if it's at an 11 a.m. kickoff, it's usually like sandwiches or pizza or something.
Right,
You end
right,
up having
right.
it at like 9 a.m., which I'm not opposed to. I like the lunch and dinner foods better than breakfast foods. I know that's a very unpopular opinion.
It is, but as someone who's used to a press meeting like that, it's hard to cover a game and eat like biscuits and gravy and eggs. You can eat a game and or eat a game. You can cover a game and eat a sandwich. Like you can take a bite of sandwich, put it down. Like you can do that. I just feel like it's more practical.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, just in general life too. I prefer
Oh
lunch and
yeah,
dinners over the
yeah. I
breakfast as
got you.
well.
So like, are
Um,
you a bacon person? Bacon? No.
this might be a controversial take. I think bacon is a little bit overrated because people hype it up as like a main food all the time. I think it is, a good side, but I think
Like a good
even
secondary. Okay.
like yeah, like the eggs are the main meal, but the bacon is the side. But I think it's even better and it's in its best form when it's like an accent for something. Like, a loaded potato,
Okay.
and
Okay.
you add
I
it to
got you.
something.
Like a
Or
turkey club or something.
yeah, or green
Yeah.
beans, or
Right. Right. I got you.
put it in a salad, put it on a sandwich, that type of thing.
I got you. Okay.
I
But
kind
and
of
then you
miss.
can get done early, and then you can like still go out that night, I guess, if you got a 2:30 kickoff.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
or go back and watch like BYU or Hawaii, or a
Oh yeah,
Pac-12
one of those.
after
Yeah.
dark game. That's kind of usually my thing because I'm usually tired after a college football game. It's a long
I
day.
feel like I feel like that would be a fan. I want an 11 o'clock game. I feel like
If I'm a fan, I kind of want the
just
tailgate
because
atmosphere.
I like the tailgating atmosphere. I like that, but like I like getting up in the morning. Like it's a little crisp outside. Like you need to wear like a hoodie and maybe like a jacket over it or something.
Yeah,
And you get out there, you have your tailgate because full disclosure, if our kickoff's at 2:30 and I start at 8 o'clock, I am not making it to that football game. Like real deal, I am not making it to that football game. It's not
yeah.
happening.
I mean, I like the mid afternoons for football. You still get a little bit of game day too to watch that. But for
Right,
other
right, you
sports,
do.
I like the you know there's not enough midweek, midday games in my opinion.
Oh man, yeah, 100%, 100%.
Because you look at like March Madness, obviously that's a very special occasion.
Yeah,
But when you have games just going throughout the day that you can follow along with, and I'm not like a normal person with a normal job, so I don't know what it would be like trying to follow along for them. But for me, as it being part of my job,
right, right,
it's
right, right.
awesome.
I'm with you. Like I like whenever we get to like conference tournament time, like you said, March Madness, just because like the week before you get those.
Is it hard to take me serious while I'm eating a popsicle or
No,
doing this
it's
podcast?
not. It's not. So you get those like week before conference tournament games where I'm a Missouri Valley guy. I'm a mid-major guy, so I like those like week before tournaments. And like 11 a.m., you get like a central. I know these two teams probably aren't in the same conference because I'm going to say some Northeastern teams, but like Radford and somebody are playing at like 11 a.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
Like I like that. Like that's fun for me. Like I enjoy those games. Just because, like
yeah.
you said, it's midday games. It's like when you're a kid. Like I remember telling my mom the other day, like well, I think it was Friday maybe, and I was like going through the TV. I was there during the day, and dude, your eyes were like you were super concentrating, and
I'm,
I said, man, it would suck to be a kid nowadays because like I don't know about you, but I would fake sick or whatever from school to watch TV. Like if I'm like 11 years old and there's a movie that I want to watch coming on TV, I'm gonna watch it. like I remember one time specifically I was grounded. I was grounded a lot as a kid. I don't know about you. Um
I was a good kid. I never got in
and
trouble.
oh, we're gonna have your mom on the podcast.
No, I'm dead
Um
serious.
dude,
I was a good kid. I never got in trouble. I was like a teacher's pet and everything.
oh my gosh. Oh, we probably would have not liked each other. You probably would have not been fun.
That was fun.
Says the guy, says you, says not everyone else. I completely lost my train of thought.
We were talking about the midday games. You were talking about skipping school because you were
Oh yeah, skipping school to watch TV. But no, I was grounded once, and Volcano. I don't know if you ever seen Volcano. It was an old movie. There's like a volcano in downtown, like Los Angeles or something, and it's kind of like Tommy Lee Jones, and it's great. But I was grounded and I couldn't watch it, so I walked down the street to my grandparents, and my grandma was down there. And I'm like, "Hey, grandma, can I watch? Hey, maybe can I watch Volcano?" She goes, "Oh, of course." So I watched it down there.
So she was an accomplice to your.
Unknowing accomplice.
Okay. I guess I can believe you on that.
So
But no, I was a good kid. I'm sorry for distracting you though with that popsicle. It was, the classic popsicle in the plastic tube. It's a top.
it is. It's
top tier old school
Americana.
summer snack. Yeah.
It is. It's Americana.
I only got them too because I was on scrolling through TikTok one night and I saw this quote hack unquote where if you didn't have scissors you could just take the frozen popsicles in the plastic tube, and just bend them real fast and snap them in half. And then I saw the popsicles the next day in Kroger, and I was like, I need to try this. And it has not worked yet, and it just makes my popsicle all mushy. But no, they're a great snack, and it's like not one of those things I ever like crave. But then I get some, and I'm like, this is really good. It's nice and refreshing. Like this week, it's been,
Oh man, this
heck
week
out
it's been
there.
great. Yeah, this week it's been great just because, man, like this weekend was awesome. Like 85, 86, perfect weather. So today, again, perfect weather. I'm over at my parents' house, over in Illinois. They live. It's a paved road, but it's not like it's completely clear. Like there's dust and debris. Like your car gets dirty just driving to their house. And so like I was outside, I was spraying off my car, getting some of the dust off, and I was parked behind my parents' carport, and I look toward the carport, and there is a snake between my dad's truck and my mom's car. And I scream. Like, I'm like, Stephanie! My dad is on the mower. Like, I'm about to go get him and like push him off and drive over and run over this snake. Like, I am terrified of snakes. Like, I'm yelling. Like, I have the hose. I'm like, do I spray it? Like, one of my parents' dogs is right beside me. I'm like, I don't want to draw attention to it. Then the dog goes after it. And so, like, finally she comes outside and she starts walking through the car. And I'm like, stop. I'm like, stop moving. And she goes, what's wrong? And I'm like, stop moving. And she goes, what's wrong? And I'm like, there's a snake underneath your car. And at this point, like, my dad is coming over, like, from the other side of the yard on the lawnmower. And he gets off and he still has his industrial sized headphones on that he uses when he's on the tractor and stuff. And he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, there's a snake over there. And he apparently says, I see it, but I took it as I don't see it. So I yell again. And he turns around and snaps back. He goes, I heard you. So he's like walking at this thing, and we get the dog inside, and he like gets a rake and doesn't kill it because it's good for stuff, but it's a rat snake apparently. And like catches it in the rake and like walks it over to the woods and like drops it in the woods and comes back. I don't know if you're aware of this, Jared, in our friendship, but I am terrified of snakes.
I didn't know that before, but I've kind of gathered that from the story and the script
Like
for Stephanie.
it's there's a new Craig Robinson show on Peacock that I was super excited about. Craig Robinson, he was in The Office. He was the black guy in The Office.
Oh,
Daryl in The
yes, yeah,
Office. He
yeah.
was in
He's
the
in
Hot Tub
everything.
Time Machine. Hot Tub Time
Yeah,
Machine.
he's
Yeah,
in
all kinds of
everything.
stuff.
That's great. He's in
Yeah, he's
Brooklyn
great.
Nine-Nine. He's like my favorite character in Brooklyn
Yeah,
Nine-Nine.
he's in
What
Brooklyn
I'm watching right
Nine-Nine.
now.
And it's got snakes, and like he's like a snake. He's like in this snake hunting contest or something, and I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of snakes either. I try to act like I wouldn't freak out like you did.
Oh man, I
Like
freaked
if
out.
I don't like something, I play it cool, but inside I'm dying a little bit.
No, I was dead. I
Like
was dead
I don't
outside
really
and
like
inside.
I don't really like spiders either. Like the little ones don't bother me, but you know, like the big barn spiders.
Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
like I'm not a big fan of those. You know, I'll try to play it cool, or I'll just
Like
burn the house down.
we were getting. I had dinner with my parents before I left, and my dad had a spider on his back, and I'm like, "Hey, you have a spider on your back?" He goes, "Do you want to get it?" And I had my fork in my hand, and I'm like, "I'm going to use my fork." So like I grabbed like a dirty spoon and like whacked him on the back with it, and I killed the spider. So that was good, but
Yeah, no, I don't. It's like any of those the weird creatures. I don't really like. Like I don't really like the stinging ones either, like wasps. I avoid
oh
wasps
man,
at pretty much all costs. Like
yeah,
I'll
I'm
play it
allergic to
cool if people
wasps.
are around.
Yeah,
But
chiggers. You're a country boy. You had chiggers.
we probably called them something different.
It's like the little like you're out in the woods. It's like little things that get on you. Like chigger, like they're
I
like
mean,
the
that could be a
little.
number of things. You need to be more specific.
No man, they're chiggers. I don't know how to explain them. They're chiggers. They're like little bitty like mites almost.
Like a tick?
No, not a tick. Not a tick. It's a chigger. I don't know how to explain it any other way. It's like they're in the grass, like they're in the tall grass, like little bitty mites, and they bite you, and they're super itchy. And
Yeah, I'm not sure what. We probably call them something different if that we.
do you have something like that? That or
Well, the
like
way that you said they're in the tall grass and they bite you was exactly how I would describe, like a tick.
it's not a tick though. There's no blood being like drained from your body. There's no no. It's not a
No,
tick.
no, I'm not sure. I'd probably have to go
Okay, for those of
on
you
like a
listening at
hike or something.
home, predominantly I know our clientele is in the Midwest, and I'm 100% sure that. Are you looking this up?
Yeah, I'm googling it right now. Keep talking.
Yeah, and I'm 100% sure that there will be on my side and be like, "What's this Yankee talking about?" Like he doesn't know what a chigger is. Is it too cold? Maybe it's too cold for chiggers up there.
It might be
Yeah.
because we don't have like the stink bugs either, really.
Oh,
Like when I
okay.
moved to Kentucky, it was like they were everywhere when I was up in Mason
That
County.
makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
But well, now I'm like deep into this bug exploration.
Chiggers.
And like, yeah, like I said, I don't really like the stinging ones, but like sometimes I'll be scrolling through TikTok and I'll get like this bee wasp removal guy, one of those accounts that pops up.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
just get sucked into watching it.
Oh man, I go
It's just
down.
there's some rabbit holes that I go down on.
How often? I do a lot of the cooking hacks. How often do you do? I know you're more crafty than I am. Do you do a lot of like the craft ones?
Yeah, those pop up on my FYP quite often, or you
Yes.
page for those that aren't as social media savvy as I am. But yeah, no, sometimes I'll just search for stuff like I'll be like DIY Dollar Tree or something like that.
Oh, that's good.
Because
Yeah,
like
that's
you
good.
can find a lot of stuff at like Dollar Tree that you can put together. Like I've got this rack in my kitchen that's got like all my olive oil and like vinegar and stuff like
Mhm.
that. That was just from like little crate things that I got there. There was one night I got deep down into like Home Depot / Lowe's TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Been there.
Just, yeah, I mean, lawn care TikTok. I feel it's Father's Day, so I feel like this is a good time to admit this. You know, as I've aged, I've become more into some of those like, traditional grown man activities. Like I love a trip to Lowe's now. And I was talking to you one night, I believe. I was in the store. It was like late at night. And I was just walking around the lawn care aisle looking at all the different things. I don't have a lawn. I live on the second floor of a one-bedroom apartment. And I was like drawn into that.
If you want to play around with a lawn, come over. I have a front yard. I have a backyard. Go to town, little fella. I'll let you
I love that.
mow the whole
Like,
thing.
I also get deep into like grilling TikTok sometimes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to learn little tricks. And like, I've got this little $25 portable charcoal grill. It's like the cheapest grill you can find, the most basic, old
Yes,
school
yes.
type of thing. Like, just the circular like Weber's. It's like that, but like terrible.
It's like the one.
It's basically a bucket for you to just stick coals in.
Is it
I
like
made
that
this.
one in Early It's Always Sunny where they're in the storage trailer and they're trying to go to Vegas? Is it
Yeah,
like that one? Is
yeah, it's like
it
that.
or
Yeah,
Niagara
it's
or
pretty much
wherever
that
they're
same
trying to
thing.
go? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, no, I had that going. I made a whole chicken in that, spatchcocked it, had it brining for, however
Ooh,
long.
you
Yeah.
are dropping the
Put the
words
rub
right
on
now,
it.
man.
I know.
We're
I'm
gonna
trying to act like
we're gonna have to
this is
add some new tags to the podcast
this
this week
this is
because Jared's
this is
dropping some words.
this is Meat the Press, man. We're going all out on the meat this week.
I've
No,
done
man, I
okay.
made that chicken. I had it going,
Yeah.
and I was over at some friend's house. They had the fancy Traeger smoker going right next to mine,
Hmm.
and I was just going old school with it. It was fun. I enjoy a night like that.
I've done like the poor man's burnt ends, like the cut up hot dogs. I've done
Oh, hot
those.
dogs? I've heard
Yeah.
of it with like chuck roast or something like that.
Oh no, no, no. Like I'll do like hot dogs and I like cut them into like four pieces, um, rub them down with like mustard and then like throw like a barbecue rub on them and then just
Yeah,
like throw them on the smoker for like an hour.
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, they're
I,
pretty solid. And then whenever you're done, like just throw some more like barbecue rub on them and mix them up.
let them go. Yeah.
They're solid.
I,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
solid.
No, I wanna get a pork belly and do kind of like a similar thing, like smoke the pork belly and then
Hmm.
do it up like burn ends. Because honestly, probably the best bite of barbecue I've ever had might have been from Heim Barbecue. I know I've worn the hat on here before. We've talked about it before. But it was the bacon burnt ends
Hmm.
that they had there. It's basically the same idea. Heim Barbecue, Fort Worth, Texas. So good. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. If you
Boom.
didn't catch that was a shout out.
Um, but yeah, I've done a couple of those. So it's super funny because you mentioned you were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine earlier. I've given that a try. I've tried so hard to watch it a couple times. I haven't gotten all the way through it. But I've been watching Survivor, like just random seasons of Survivor on Paramount and stuff. And I love okay, first off, have you ever watched Survivor? Like are
Yeah,
you like
my parents were like big Survivor people.
okay.
They still watch it, so like lots.
So like I've seen a couple like random seasons recently and now I think I'm watching like 42 or something. And
Is
it
that
makes
many?
me yeah, there's like 40 there's at least 42, 43 I think. I know. It's been going on forever. Um but it like makes me think if number one, I don't think I could do it. I like the gamesmanship aspect of it, like I like the social aspect of it. Um but I think physically it would put me in the best shape of my life. But um I don't think I could do Survivor. Could you do Survivor?
Call me Destiny's Child because I think I could do Survivor. I'm a survivor. You know that song?
I'm
That's like an early 2000s
I'm
throwback.
super offended that you asked if I knew that song. I'm older than you. Yes, I know
I,
that song.
I feel like, yeah, I feel like I
Yeah, I know the
I
song.
feel
Come
like,
on, dude. Get out of here, bro.
can you sing it for me? I
No.
need to know that you know it.
No, I can't. I need you to
But
take my
I,
this is a trust thing.
like, I'm not going to say I would win it, but I feel like I could do it and get by, because I feel like I could work with other people a little bit. I've got some
Right,
pretty
right,
good survival instincts. Like,
right.
I was just talking about my grilling experience. Is pretty much what you'd have there. Like, I
Every
was in the Boy
night,
Scout.
yeah.
I was in the
You
yeah,
could
I was in the
have
Boy Scouts growing up, so
you could
I've
have a
got the
spatchcock
survival
chicken
skills.
every night on Survivor.
Man, oh man, I
If
was
you had
in
Jared McDonald on there, you could have chicken every night.
yeah, I was in the Cub Scouts and the Boy Scouts growing up, and there's one trip I remember. It was like to get this wilderness survival patch or something, and one of the nights you had to like just stay out there. You didn't really have any supplies or anything like that, but you had an emergency, the emergency blankets that are like
Right,
tinfoil
right, right.
basically. Okay, so everybody had those. There was one kid that couldn't sleep, and you were allowed to bring a flashlight. And this kid's flashlight was a damn spotlight. And anytime anybody moved, this kid would take his spotlight and shine it on you. So nobody slept that entire night because of that one
So,
kid.
super funny story. The mutual person that we know from up there, from where you're from,
Oh yeah.
um, I think it was him that him or one or his brother had gotten like lost at night, like riding his bike, and had to stay out overnight and like used his bike to protect him. Like I don't know if he saw a bear or something. He saw something, but like he slept like against a tree and had like his bike in front of him to protect him.
Damn.
Maine, man,
It's
Maine,
I've said it on here before and I'll say it again. It's a whole other world up there, man.
dude,
Whole other world. Kind
crazy.
of miss it. Like, there's not much sports going on right now. I
I
wouldn't
know
mind
we're
a
we're
nice
in a
like survival
lull.
night. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we're in a
are.
lull.
Like,
I mean, we
we got the
have
NHL, the Stanley Cup final going on right now.
yeah, we
I've
have
been
baseball.
keeping up with that, but it hasn't really like. I mean, yesterday the game
It-
2 wasn't exciting at all. It was a
no.
blowout. It was a blowout from the beginning. I thought
Mhm.
that was going to be how game 1 went. Colorado jumped on them, but Tampa Bay responded and ended up going to overtime. The Avs still won that game. I think it'll be
How
interesting to see with the shifting back to Tampa how things might change. Because the Lightning did come back from 2 games down in the Eastern Finals, so we'll see.
how do you think it is covering? Because I'm trying to think if I've ever covered anything like that. Like, because in our career, we don't often cover series, right? I mean, well, I guess you'll
Uh,
cover baseball series and stuff like that.
yeah,
Um,
I'll do a little bit with like softball and stuff, but with college basketball and CUSA, um, because not this past season, but the season before with COVID, travel and the
right.
exposure was limited. So they would play the same team on back to back nights in the same
Yeah,
arena. So that was kind of, like a series.
that's true.
Um,
That's true. I don't know. I think that's an interesting aspect of reporting because like you're taught in school to like always find that specific angle, like you got to always find the angle and I've talked about it with my students before and I know we've talked about it in DM groups and I feel like that's like a perfect example of saying like hey, these are potentially seven things that are all fundamentally the same thing with each being a game, but there's so many different factors and so many different things you can pull from. Like I think that's a super cool thing that like is just another like teaching thing is like hey, this is seven basketball games. Like
yeah,
I mean, you've covered and we've covered hundreds of those. Like these are seven in a row. Like how do they be different? How are they got to be different? I just think that's cool. But
yeah. No, the best advice I probably got wasn't really advice. It was back when I was an intern at the TV station in Boston.
mm,
I was in the sports department there. One of the producers, his name was Seth. He was pretty new there as well, but we'd work a lot of the same nights together. And I would log a lot of Bruins games, a lot of Celtics games, Boston College games. So I pretty much like mark timestamps whenever anything important happened, like a goal or a
mhm,
touchdown or whatnot, just so they could easily go back and find it.
mhm.
And I would like go out and grab dinner before the games usually at the Starbucks right down the road, and then he would be gone and come back. And when he came back, the game was like already going or something like that, a period in or a quarter in,
Hmm.
and the first thing he'd say is, "What's the story?" So it's kind of the
Yeah,
same idea.
yeah.
Just
It's
every
like
night it was the same thing. It was great working with him.
my first job out of undergrad. I covered. I worked in Central Illinois, and I covered county fairs. And one week I covered harness racing, and like it looks like a chariot kind of thing. Like,
I know what harness racing is. It's
and
big in the Northeast.
and we might have talked about this before. Now that I think about it, but like there were like 6, 7 races a day, and you had to figure out a different angle like for every day. I'm like, because you're doing this for 5 days, and each day there are races.
Yeah.
So I think um, I know I'm going to surprise you here, but I think that's a perfect lead in to our prize pick of the week, because I told you that I wanted it to like be somebody. So it's somebody that we both know, and I know it's someone that listens to the podcast, but it's someone that's leaving the business.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I'm going to give it to Josh Moore. Is that
It's a
who you thought I
nice
was
one.
talking about?
Yeah. After you
Yeah.
said that,
So
yeah.
for
I don't
those
know
of you,
how chariot racing goes, or harness racing, sorry, goes to Josh Moore, but
because
I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
you got to be able to connect the dots, man. I mean, come on. Um,
Can you
but
walk me through it? Because I imagine I'm not the only one listening to this struggling to connect those dots.
it was
Because a horse is almost like a goat, Josh.
it made sense the first time I thought about it. But anyway, I'm gonna go Josh anyway, just because we're already here. But Josh, I know Josh. For those of you who don't know, Josh that's gonna already take some time to say, was the UK football beat writer for the Herald Leader in Lexington. Been a really good friend of mine for a super long time. I've had many beverages with him in Lexington. I know, Jared, you've been there for a few of those as well. Um, it I know we talk about it all the time in like DM groups and stuff, but it really sucks whenever like somebody good leaves the business, because number one, you lose out on like that really good material. I mean, like you lose out on someone who really good at what they do and provides like a service. And selfishly, it also, loses a hangout buddy at state tournament sometimes. But yeah, so shout out to him moving on, getting out of this wretched career that I'm attempting to go back into. Um, but yeah, shout out to Josh, who was, this is going to sound super weird. He was born exactly 2 weeks before me.
That is weird.
Exactly 2 weeks. Yep. Who do you have?
I thought about going with Little Caesars. We know how we
Oh my
talked about it on
gosh,
the
we were
podcast.
talking
So I
about
love
this.
Little Caesars, and
We were
they
talking
out
about this the
pizza
other day.
Little Caesars out pizza the Hut.
Oh, that's
Became
right.
the NFL's official pizza sponsor.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not going to go with Little Caesars though, unfortunately. I do love Little Caesars. They can sponsor the podcast if they'd like. The $5 hot and ready pizza is the best value in fast food. It's the best value in any food, in my opinion.
I think this was more of a curveball than mine because I'm so confused right now.
I'm not going with that, just to be clear, but I thought about it, and then I had a better
Okay.
one. I'm
Okay.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with a local guy here in Bowling Green, George and Chastity Fant. They founded
yeah.
the Fant Foundation, and this past week they were holding their Dream Big camp. With youth basketball, youth football camps going on around the community. They had a free, celebrity softball game. Brought in a lot of NFL players. Brought in guys like Jared Savage, who's now playing professional basketball overseas in Greece. And it's just a chance to bring the community together and help out the youth of the community. He's a guy, both him and Chastity. I see them around all the time, whether it's at Warren Central basketball games or Western basketball games during the off season. For him from the NFL, so it's just nice to see a guy like that, always around the community trying to help out. So that's why my serious Prize Pig Award winner of the week would be George and Chastity Fan.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with Little Caesars also.
I mean, we can have more than we said in the very first one that we could have 2-time winners, we could have 3-time winners, we could have 4-time winners. And I feel like Little
Did we say you could have 2 winners in a week? Was that ever said?
No, but I didn't say Little Caesars was my winner this week. I'm saying it will probably be my winner down the line on more than one occasion.
Oh, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. I've just been kind of cheating it lately, giving an honorable mention the last couple weeks.
That's okay. That's okay. Papa John's isn't bad either.
That reminds me, going back to our conversation about TikTok, one day I was in the office. I got deep into Papa John TikTok. Like John Shatner.
Yeah.
Papa John.
Yeah.
He had a TikTok, and I just started watching his TikTok one day.
Papa John
had
or has a TikTok?
He had a TikTok. He might still has a TikTok.
He might still.
Well, you said has or has.
I think both of what you said "have" was the word that you should use. I think you might have a podcast or a TikTok.
Hey, but it was kind of weird, but it was entertaining. I couldn't stop watching his TikToks.
Yeah, I've been down some rabbit holes, but that's gonna have to wait for another day. I think we could literally fill an entire episode on rabbit holes we've been on TikTok. Luckily, I had like 40 days off whenever I was going through Lent. I don't know what those 40 would have been like, but though
we've got some slow weeks coming up. That might be
we got some slow
next
weeks
episode.
That's true. We're gonna
starts up.
We're gonna be scraping for material. But thank you all for joining us this week. Episode 15. We will be back next week. Thank you.